Good afternoon. Today is April 28th, 2011. I'm Corey Harris, Student Senate President at Johnson County Community College, and this is one of our Town Hall series in which we will have a roundtable discussion with many people in our campus who are influential in making a lot of the changes that you want seen here on campus. Today we have our head chef, Tim. Tim's going to speak to us about some of the dining options and food options that we can see and what we can try to change and get voices heard on from our student body within his department and his realm of work here at the school. So Tim, welcome.
Well, I'm enjoying being here.
Thank you. I'll also go around and we'll introduce all those Student Senate members who are present with us today, starting with the treasurer, and make our way around.
Okay, my name is Amir Chalian. I'm the treasurer.
Gina Galindo, Senator.
Jeremy Walsh, Secretary.
Hector Ochoa, Senator.
Alicia Nichols, Senator.
Perfect. Well, now that we know everybody and we know that Tim is responsible for making my favorite lobster bisque soup every 2 weeks and every Thursday here at Temple, I think it's going to be a pretty good roundtable. So I thank you again for joining us. The first question is, what exactly, students have a little bit of an issue with what is served in the cafeteria and also in Down Under. Not that they don't like it, but they would like to have, I guess what the Secretary has reiterated a whole bunch of times, healthier options or different options. What are some things that we can do to see that happen?
Well, I enjoy input like that, but then a lot of times people haven't actually sought out the things that we have for the students. Greens is a good example. Those are all prepared salads made from fresh products, and when we get into the summer and fall time, they're going to be coming from the student farm here on campus. There's vegan products there, there's healthy products there. We also created a pho bar this last semester, and that is a good value, and it's also very nutritious, and people can put as much food in it as they like. On our carvery, we always have at least one vegetarian option, and most times it is completely vegan. I try to balance the menu with home cooking style, some eclectic international type foods, and then a lot of times lighter fare as the season goes on, or as we move into fall, start having more types of comfort food. The cafeteria, as you call it upstairs, is actually known as a scramble. It's not a cafeteria line with the old ladies with the cigarette hanging out of their mats and, and all that good stuff. But this gives people the different options they want. And we did a survey. We do a survey every 2 years, and people like the name recognition of the branded products like Pizza Hut and Chick-fil-A. 4 years ago, we decided to bring in a sushi bar, so that also offers very healthy options and has vegan options. We upgraded our Mexican bar from Cuberas, it was a self-service, make as you want, to more of a Chipotle style concept with burritos and taco salads that are made to order by students. The coffee bars have gourmet sandwiches that we make every day fresh. We also have salads that are vegetarian and some with proteins on them. Cafe Tempo has a nice eclectic menu with vegetarian items, and then the protein items, healthy salads, and in all areas, there's water, and tea, and different types of beverages that students can pick out. Now, one of the things I heard earlier was like, well, things cost too much. We're in line with the market, as far as going up against, McDonald's or Taco Bell or all those places. We have a budget that we have to report to. We take into consideration what other colleges around the country are doing and what they're charging, and we rate very favorable to that. We're not subsidized. We are a self-operating department, so we do have to break even, and we do, as you know, with the price of oil, that raises the price of plastics and delivery costs. We're getting hit with surcharges from Cisco to our meat companies, fish company. Everybody's throwing $5, $10 surcharges on that. The prices fluctuate on dairy and meats. Sometimes pork is really cheap. Sometimes it's more of the beef that's cheaper. So we try to balance all those things so that through the whole year we're giving the best value that we can. We're just not trying to make money fist over barrel. We're trying to operate, in the black so that we can keep developing new concepts, keep it fresh for the students, through every 3 to 5 years as they move through. And that's important because about after 5 years, one concept can get stale. So I'm already in the development side of coming up with other concepts that we'll implement in 2 years. And so we're constantly in change, we're constantly in motion, and we're constantly taking the opinions of the students and the faculty of what they want to have on campus.
I had a couple questions for
Sure.
you. One of them was the fast food businesses that we have in the cafeteria, the Pizza Hut and the Chick-fil-A, others, those are under contract, right?
Yes.
Okay, how long of a contract are they under?
That would be a question for Jay to answer, but I believe we have a renewable contract every year and/or 5 years, I think.
Okay. And then when was the last survey that you guys conducted? When did you guys do the last survey? You said you do it every 2 years.
It
When
just
the last one?
was completed this last February,
Oh, okay, that February was the last survey.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay.
and we're, as far as favorable comments, we're above the national average as in one of the highest colleges in the country.
Yeah, I enjoy the food. I like the food in the Down Under.
Yeah.
I eat there a lot.
I think you get more for your money's worth down there.
That's where I'm mostly involved. I usually do 2 or 3 of the entrees down there in the morning, and I supervise the pho bar and greens. And then we switch gears and go into the catering in the afternoon. Because we do over 3,000 events a year in catering, everything from small, cocktail parties or brunches to huge events. We're also right now, we're going off campus. We're doing the KU Business Center down the street here. We're doing catering for them. And we're also going to be going off campus with the new Olathe nursing school. And we're going to have vending machines and catering out there. And Jay and I just visited Kansas State's new animal health and food safety school, which is down the street. It's a beautiful campus, and they have a state-of-the-art kitchen. And we're going to do some negotiating tomorrow about us doing catering down there for them also. And that all brings revenue back into the school, helps us keep costs lower.
Yeah. So then with you guys being stretched so thin, and that probably negates this last question here about the possibility of expanding the hours for the Down Under cafeteria.
Oh, that would be great.
I know they close down typically at 2 o'clock, and a lot of times when you get there, some of the good entree choices that are there are gone because food ran out, which I know that kind of stuff happens. But sometimes some of us, especially like those of us who are busy with a lot of activities and things we do on campus, sometimes we don't get out of a meeting or class or something in time to be able to make it down there to get something to eat. So what would be the possibilities of maybe expanding that out from the 2 o'clock till say maybe 5 or even
Well,
4
that
o'clock?
would be, we'd have to create a second shift to do that. And with the college's zero baseline budgeting, we couldn't, hire any new people to do that. When you start having that long of a day, you have 2 shifts. So right now, I basically have all my full-time and part-time people work in either between 4 in the morning to 11, 5 to 12. We all kind of stagger in. I usually work anywhere from 6 to 4 or something like that. I mean, I'd love to keep it open, but when we do an hourly check of when we're the most busy, there's sometimes, we do, 70 people in between 11 and 12. In 12 and 1, we do 100 people. In between 1 and 1:30, we do 30. In between 1:30 and 2, we do 6. So it starts to drop off. So the sales really wouldn't warrant being open until that long. Now, what the possibilities, could be, and I'll take that under consideration, and I'll try to come up with some ideas about that, seeing if we can create something that's more wholesome instead of the concept restaurants upstairs that students can get. The coffee bars always have the gourmet sandwiches and salads that are available until they close, both Encore and Java Jazz. And Tempo has extended hours in between 2 and 3, where with our new menu that's coming up, the spring change is going to have some appetizers and desserts that'll be open until 3 o'clock. We're going to do some hummus over there, and then we're going to do loaded chips with chicken and blue cheese and things like that.
What I would like to hear from the other senators and also members of the executive board of how they think or how they would see their ideal, food services department here, and maybe that could probably help in giving you a little bit more to work with, because I do see the new goals here, as you have stated. I think that they are very, very commendable goals. I mean, should investigate possible goals established by the SDARS system, including reducing trans fat, looking at the vegan options, and look at buying recycled content napkins. I mean, that is stuff that a lot of the students want to see and what they've asked for, and you're already working towards that, which I think is awesome. But I also want to hear from them and see what they also have to say as well.
Well, I do like some of the food here when I first started, but eventually it seems like for a college student, it's like, I know you said you have to stay on a budget and you have to, meet the thing, but it is pretty pricey, to go in there and spend about almost $6 for a small thing. So anyway,
When you say a small thing, what do you exactly mean?
Like maybe a small pizza or like a small thing of sushi. Or if you go in there and get a salad in one of those big plates, it's almost $10 to $12 for it. Also, depending on how much you put in there, but it's just very costly for a college student. And then I just find it a lot more convenient to go across the street where there's a Taco Bell or McDonald's and spend a lot less. So if that was probably brought into the school, so even like a Taco Bell would be great, or something much more less expensive than Pizza Hut. And Chick-fil-A is great, but I don't eat chicken, and it's only chicken, so
Get chickened out.
so it's just small things like that.
Well, like I said, it's we have different options for the students, like the salad bar and the hot bar upstairs are weighed and charged by the weight, so you can take as much as you want, and you can eat for $2 or $3, very easily. The pho bar is a huge 32-ounce portion, and it's $4.95. That's a good value. And down at Greens too, once again, it's weighted, so depends on how much you want to eat. And if you're eating correctly and have proper portion control, then you really shouldn't be spending that much money. But yes, if you have a large plate and you're piling on, 12 ounces of potato salad, 16 ounces of pasta salad, you are going to be paying $10. So that is more your responsibility as far as what you're trying to pay for when we have these areas that you can control the cost.
Right, but you could also go across the street and almost get the same portion for cheaper.
And you're eating fast food, and it's bad for you.
Depending.
Gina, what about you?
Yeah, it's just I was thinking that many students, like international students that spend their entire day here, their only option is to eat on campus or go outside, and many of them will prefer to walk across the street for cheaper meals, even if they're not as healthy options, because they cannot afford to spend $5 and $6 a day for meals or something like that. And maybe just have some more options in terms of fast food, even like a little bit lower in prices. But I do see your point, and I understand. However, it's just still a problem for students for money issues.
How many students carpool to campus?
Well, I can't give you specific numbers, but
But there's lots of ways to save. I mean, right now in the economic times that we're having, we are doing our best to provide a high quality product at a value price. We don't want to bring on food onto campus that's McDonald's when we're trying to work towards a sustainable atmosphere on the college, and having a whole life cycle of the composting, buying the food from the college, producing the college food. It all takes some effort. It takes resources and it takes money, but we're bringing it to you at the best value we can, because we are comparing ourselves to other colleges. If you want McDonald's and that's what's in your budget, then you're gonna have to eat McDonald's. I know my son goes to school here, he works, and his back seat of his car is filled with McDonald's. And of course he has acne and weighs about 150, and doesn't sleep very well, so.
Just weigh on you now. Will we see an increase in prices in our food services department for us as students to go out there and get food, as we also see an increase with tuition?
We try to keep our increases to a level where only if we are getting smacked around by our vendors, that's really the only thing. if we're not staying at our goal of 33% food cost, and all of a sudden, you know, and we're running at 40%, then all of a sudden, you know, we could be outsourced.
Right.
And you could have a national chain in here that serves you hot dogs and cold burritos and things like that. We've toured other campuses. We just went down to UMKC about a month ago. The place was empty. No one was eating there because the food looked horrible and gross and cold, and several of the things were contracted labor. So they had no control, the school had no control over what these people are serving and how it's being served.
I guess that makes a lot of sense. And it's fair also, I think. Alex?
As far as like how I vision the dining services to be like in the future, I mean, I barely eat over there as it is anyway because I don't have time on my schedule to go sit down and eat. But I still think there's a pretty good variety of food. I mean, you have from pizza to sandwiches to sushi to Mexican food, and as far as people mentioning how that we need more healthy options and all that, I mean, I think there are like all those healthy options that you mentioned. It's just that your option of choosing them that they're affected by. And so that's just how I view it.
One of the things we're going to try to do in our goal, and I started this last year, but I tend to take on too many projects, is I created a dining services webpage and a Twitter account so I could send out, you know, this is our, you know, for people that are following me, hey, we got this, you know, down at Greens today. You know, this is being served at Cafe Tempo. And people really liked it, but it would take me 20, 30 minutes in the morning to do that and or to update it. So I really like for someone in my department to kind of take that on as their task because, you know, in the last year, I've been the Excel Award Chairman. I'm the Regional Chairman for the Culinary Competition for NACUFs. I'm on the Sustainability Committee, and I run a whole full college food service. You know, I'm writing all the menus, dealing with the cost, working with the employees and the personnel, developing a relationship with the staff because we do a lot of different parties, especially for the president and the museum, and we do all those openings. So, you know, I cover a wide range of things I have to do and people I have to deal with. And, you know, everything from the students to my dishwashers to the vice presidents to the president's office. And it's quite rewarding, and it keeps me busy every day. But I focus in on the food the most part, and especially, okay, if I get an email, I promptly send back an answer why, you know, we did something. We changed the menu in the coffee bars back in March, and a lot of people were upset that we took the sunflower salad with the grilled chicken off. Well, they didn't understand was that the greens that were used in that salad, we were in the transition period from Mexico to California. And by the time they would get here, they'd only last 2 days, and then they were not high quality. And the college campus is going to start producing microgreens here in the first part of May. And so I took that one little item off for about 6 weeks because it didn't pass my test, okay? And if I would have allowed it to stay out there, then people would have complained that, oh, it's bad, the lettuce is, you know, brown and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a, you know, two-way cycle. So I explain that, and I go out of my way and to do that, and so people understand.
Alicia?
One of my favorite things to do is to go down to the deli bar and make my own sandwich because, you know, it's a much healthier choice than, say, the fast food upstairs. Because I work at Chick-fil-A and I know I get enough Chick-fil-A anyway. But I like, you know, making my own sandwich. The only problem is like with the being able to keep it open like long enough for people to come in and make a sandwich sometimes, because sometimes, you know, you don't get out of class until later. I mean, maybe until like 3 o'clock, because I know it's open till 2, right?
Right.
And then maybe having it open till 3. I don't know. It's because I know there's you know, as far as labor issues, I understand that, but sometimes it's...
Well, it's the thing to try to understand and have some empathy for us is that, you know, we serve 5,000 to 6,000 people a day, and, you know, to you know, recreate something for 5 or 10 people. You know, it just doesn't make good business sense for us. Although we would really love to be able to do that, but this guy just won't let us do it.
What's that?
Have extended hours.
Like what extended hours?
Well, she's just given an example, and a lot of them that they really love Down Under, and they would like to see it open until 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock. And I explained to them that would take a whole second shift to be able to do that.
Here's an idea that I had. Since you were mentioning that a lot of the initiatives were coming from the sustainability committee as far as the school moving in a more sustainable direction, providing their own food. What about the possibility of the sustainability committee in conjunction with, I don't know how much percentage of the tuition hike that we've just recently incurred is going towards this? Can that money help offset to hire an additional person or two, for at least for 1 semester or 2, to give it a trial, to expand the hours for an hour or 2 each day, and just to see if that helps, if the business picks up enough to warrant the cost to pick up an additional shift?
That's a question we could probably, ask Jay.
Right, if the sustainability committee's involved, I know
Yeah.
they have a pretty big budget that they should be able to help with that.
Yeah, that's a question.
Yeah.
I've been in this college business since about '86. I was at the University of Nebraska and KU for 15 years. I've been here about 6 years. In the retail segment of our business, taking out the residence halls, we don't have residence halls. Again, there's patterns in terms of fall semester, spring semester, but basically 80% of our business comes between, let's say, 10:30 and 1:30, and that's kind of the reason why we'll close down areas, just because it's not economically feasible. I've got a budget. I've got it yet in terms of our food costs and our labor costs, and that's kind of where how we come up with these hours and how we do determine them. The other component of, okay, let's say Down Under, is the hot bar upstairs. A lot of times we'll bring over leftovers from Down Under up to the hot bar, and that's an area where we could look at,
We've been doing that all semester.
Yeah, but maybe
That goes up there from
expand it
2
a
to
little
5.
more.
Right, with the sandwich selection things
Yeah,
and other
yeah,
salad stuff
yeah,
that people can get.
Yeah, because that's one thing we don't really have in the food courts. Like we talked about sandwich, we don't, and that's the real problem. There is where do we put it, and that type of thing. We have done it on the salad bar before, but that's something maybe we could look at maybe in the afternoon. Okay, let's have some
Well, maybe once one of those fast food places, the contract, I guess, durations were on 1 5-year contract things. Maybe if one of those places is coming up on their contract, they could take one of those spots that they were there and turn it into a designated sandwich bar, build your own sandwich bar type thing that's in there in that cafeteria, so it'll still have the same hours that the normal cafeteria would, and then you wouldn't have to worry about picking up the additional shift or anything like that for Down Under.
Sure.
Well, what I also thought about too, I see that CLB is about to get another coffee shop here shortly on the 2nd floor. Would that be possible to also put a food shop anywhere else on campus?
Yeah, again, and that's something we can explore.
Yeah.
Now with the CLB, with coffee, we will have our sandwiches or salads.
Right.
But that's again, with CLB, I've been eyeing that location since I got here because I see the traffic.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
It's a no-brainer. And our vending machines, that's the highest volume for our vending machines, a vending location. And CLB. But I think maybe we need to explore other areas of the campus.
I know Eric had a question or a comment.
First of all, let me introduce Ashley. She is one of the student ambassadors here. She would like to say something, but I understand you want quality over quantity, talking about the food prices here. As an international student too, we have a limited budget. So if you go buy pizzas like $6 or $5, and you think maybe just let me go outside and get a Chick-fil-A or chicken sandwich for $1 or $2, so I can just walk across the street and come back for school. So my question would be, why don't we have more programs to educate students that what we're serving here is a good food, it's healthy, rather than you going out there buying, just not nasty food, but tiny food. Like I know Nancy has programs upstairs in the comms building, comms 319, where she gives you options. She tells you can buy, if you have $1 or $2, you can have these options. So if we have more of that, I think students won't complain to start with, because they'll know what they're getting and they will understand why. And my second thing, it will be a question. We are having, I'm in the sustainability committee, and I understand we'll be having the farm coming up soon. So is it going to be promising will the prices go down since we will be having our own food products here?
One of the things that Mike Bryan and I did last winter is we mapped out the type of food that we would need for the entire year. And so they're not just planning anything, they're actually going to be planning stuff that we will purchase from them. And at the same time, they have their budget and what they have to do to be sustainable. So we are going to be purchasing food from them, and the prices will be competitive or what's with the market. But no one, for the last 10 years, anything that's been locally grown has been almost 25-30% higher, and now it's starting to come back to the middle because of the fuel charges and things like that. So they will be competitive, but I'm almost sure they'll be lower than the normal prices. Ashley?
Yes, me and some other students, we don't eat beef products at all, and it's kind of hard when we go into the cafeteria and all there is beef, and all we eat is like chicken all the other times. So we're tired of Chick-fil-A, we can't eat Arepas all the time. Is there a way that you guys can implement turkey into some options instead also?
Well, once again, and we have to work on this, in Down Under is where you get all your most options. We serve fish down there, we serve turkey, we have vegetarian, we have vegan items, we have the pho bar, we have wonderful, creative, healthy salads, and then you make your own sandwiches. So if you always walk into the food court, you're not always going to get the best value or get the things that you want. You're almost a captured audience there. If you come downstairs, you have the option to get what you want. And or if you walk over to Cafe Tempo, they also have vegetarian items and good healthy items. And they are not pricey. We made the change to attract students to get them over there. And it has worked very well this year. And people have found out, oh, I can get a half sandwich or a cup of soup over here for $2, or something like that. So there are options out there. You just have to be diligent enough to walk around and find them. And we have to do a better job of educating you and letting you know where they're at.
Your question about some items maybe at a lower price, it's something we could probably look at. If you look at your national, franchises, they have the value menu, but maybe we need to explore that a little bit more. Because Nancy, she is good at, she knows what, what the values are.
We really enjoy, she's like teaching us, you can have these options available to you guys. Mm-hmm. So if you senators in any way, if you could help to spread that word, or anyhow, I think we'll have more and more students coming back to school rather than going out.
Now, Tim, did you mention a new pho bar in terms of, our price point there is $4.95?
Mm-hmm.
That's all you can eat. I've seen, some students come down, man, that sucks. They keep putting the meat in, they start, they layer it. Again, we can't. Have you checked out the pho bar?
How many know about the pho bar?
Yeah.
I've had it.
I haven't tried it yet.
We have marinated flank steak, chicken, bean sprouts, all the different types of vegetables, bean thread noodles, and then it's a vegetarian pho broth. And then we have condiments so you can spice it up. We have peppers, sriracha sauce, soy sauce, fish sauce, and hoisin sauce. So you really get to kind of create your own dish, and you can kind of go down there and play with it. When we do close down for the summer, we are going to bring the file bar up once a week on Tuesdays, and then we're also going to bring greens up on Thursdays, so that there'll be healthier options and valued options up in the food court.
Now, I've heard that we're also planning for another building on campus that maybe you could tell us about with the culinary arts building.
What I know about that is, don't know a lot, but
Right.
I was told, is I think, I don't know whether the students will do like a little coffee bar type operation. I don't think they're looking at, something, like a restaurant, that type of thing.
Right.
That's all I've really know at this point in time.
What can you say about the Iron Chef competition?
Well, that's something I developed about 15 years ago, and we do it for outside corporations. We can also do it for departments, for them to use it as a team building exercise. We've done that several different departments. We'd love to do it for different clubs. They could go up against each other.
Oh, that'd be something.
Well, and if you want to do something, because I know, checking out other schools, I know, especially like with the residence halls, like Missouri, they do one with the students.
Right.
You just let me know, we'll do one.
I think that'd be good to
We
have
could
student senate.
promote that. Maybe get with Jake to, I'm game. Man.
Maybe us against the
There you
against
go.
our advisors, or maybe
There you
Dr.
go.
Calloway and
Yeah.
Dr. Day.
Yeah, just let
I
us
hear
know.
they can't cook, so
Yeah.
that would probably help out a lot.
No, just let us know. We'll do it no charge. We'll just,
Well, I really appreciate you on behalf of our Senate and also behalf of, oh, sorry. Go on. I'm
There was
sorry.
just one topic that was brought up in our Senate tabling that we hadn't touched on. We talked about vegetarian and vegan, but students have specifically asked for more gluten options. Are there gluten options currently on there? And if so, is it possible to do more education so students do realize that those options are out there?
That's, once again, that'll be something that we try to place on our menus, or if anyone ever, because we don't have all the systems in place, if anyone has any questions about any of the food on campus, they can email me and I'll give them a response in 5 minutes. I mean, I check my emails every 15 minutes, especially during the lunch hour, because people do say, I have this allergy, I'm allergic to this, is this in this, and I can tell them, at some point, hopefully down the road in 10 years, we could have a nutritionist on staff, because that's a full-time position, someone going through all the different menus. On an average day, we have, I'd say, close to 75 different menu options being served, and so that, if they expected me to do it, I think I would be in a funny farm by about now. And so, but I do have that information in my brain, and so I can't give it out to everybody, but if you need it, I can give it to you.
Well, I sincerely want to thank both of you for coming and joining us today. It means a lot for us to have you here, that we can still voice our opinions and get feedback and really get down to the nitty-gritty of finding out what's going on here on campus. And of course, if there's anything that we can do on behalf of Student Senate to help you in any way whatsoever, such as continuing to buy all the products that I know that we buy, please let us know. We'd be more than happy to assist you in any way possible.
The one thing I would like to, maybe we can develop this summer, is I guess there's some type of handout that's given, or a booklet to incoming freshmen, or something, that we develop a section in that lets everybody know where all the different foods are and what types, the values, and give them a little education of the food service on campus. Because not only is there food service on campus, there's jobs on campus.
Yeah.
We employ the most students on campus in between our food court and food service and our catering. I mean, we are busy and we need lots of students.
And they're here all weekend, because I know when I'm here on Saturdays sometimes, I see a lot of them work in the catering department. So, I mean, it really says a lot to you about the program, of how much the department actually does for our school, and for our students. Yeah, you do. And I think I may be coming to look for a new job here shortly, but because Senate isn't paying as much as I wish it would. But I sincerely thank both of you for being here, and I also want to thank everybody else for participating in today's last town hall meeting, and to all of our viewers and also all the other clubs and organizations who couldn't be with us today. I want to thank them as well, because this was only a dream and only a thought that had started last semester or last year around this time, when we all had just got elected, and we said let's have town hall meetings so we can invite the public out and they can tell us what they want to hear. We can go back out and find the answers and bring it back to them. And they have been relatively successful for the first year for doing it the first couple of times. And I really thank the Senate for all their hard work that you've all done, and Mindy also for your hard work. And so I can't wait to see this continue next year and the years to come. And I just want to thank you all once again.